All right, everybody. Welcome back to the Zach and Sully podcast. It is me, Zach. I'm here with Josh Sullivan, a.k.a. Sully.
What's good? How you doing, guys?
All right, so not a lot of topics today, just a couple things we want to address. We have our big discussion of the day is songs that are overplayed and that should be banned. So we'll get into that in a few moments. A couple big sports news from football. Calvin Johnson, obviously future Hall of Famer wide receiver, calling it quits after 9 seasons, all with the Detroit Lions. Kind of surprising. So we'll get to that later on. And then the continuing ongoing fiasco that involves Johnny Football, Johnny Manziel. Don't really know where he's going to end up in the next couple of years. So we'll get into that a little bit later. So, yeah, let's get right to it. So the other night I was at this bar up on Summit in Columbus called Susie Koozies. They give us free pool on Tuesdays. And they have like a touch tunes like thing going on in the bar. So we're listening, and I'm about to get up from my shot for pool. And all of a sudden, from the speakers around in the bar, I hear the opening intro bass line of Another One Bites the Dust. You know, boom, 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 and I cringed. Like, I absolutely cringed. It is probably the 1 billionth time I've heard that freaking song. And the sad part is I'm born in 1992, and I think that song came out in 1979. So for somebody to get sick of a song like 12 years after it came out, dawned on me, like, we should have a vote at the end of the year that songs that are overplayed on the radio, America should vote. We'll get a ballot going. So then me and Sully decided to have this discussion about what songs are just absolutely unbearable to listen to anymore. So we both put together a list. So I'm going to let you start it off, Sully. I'll see if I agree with anything. So we'll just flip-flop back and forth. So let me know what you got.
So with all the presidential stuff coming around, I guess this is what we would do if we were voted president. We would immediately ban these songs from the airwaves. You can still listen to them on your own time. You can still, you can still download them on iTunes. You can still stream them on Spotify, but not in a public setting. Not at games, not at parties, not at sporting events, not at
banned everywhere except for personal gain. The only time you can listen to it is when you put it in your headphones, so no one else can hear it.
In the gym, like laying in your bed. That's fine, but that's it. So I'm gonna start it off, and this might not be a popular choice, and especially won't be a popular choice with the females of the audience. But I'm going to lead off with Anything by Luke Bryan, with the exception of one song, and that's that song he has, Drink a Beer, which pretty good. It talks about
For a second, I was thinking about that. I thought you meant like the song Anything, but you're going as every song by Luke Bryan.
Every song by Luke Bryan except Drink a Beer. That song's awesome. If you don't know it, it talks about a guy who finds out that his good friend died, and he goes to a dock and drinks a beer like he used to do with a friend. Awesome song. But that's also repetitive. That's better just because of the meaning. It's not exactly musical genius. Every other song by Luke Bryan, though, banned from the airwaves.
Yeah, and the thing with Luke Bryan is I'm not a big country listener, or at least a country music that they call it nowadays. So when I hear like Luke Bryan's Country Girl Shake It For Me, like I just like cringe again. Like I'm cringing already just thinking about that. But I think the thing that gets me most upset with like Luke Bryan is that he has such a great country voice, and he doesn't use it to like make like good country music. And like we had this discussion last episode. You have the artists like the Wiz Khalifas and stuff that apply to a certain audience, and that's great. It's good that you're making money. But you can also like go out of your boundaries a little bit and make something a little different. I mean, you have the talent for it. Hire a bunch of songwriters. Yeah, you're probably not going to get a lot of my my praise because I have a problem with people who don't write their own songs. But if it's like a little different and something like a different of a taste, then yeah, by all means. But great choice. Love it. Go on to the next one.
Girl, I can't wait to watch you do your thing. Yeah, I don't know. He wears on me real quick.
What else you got on there?
After that, this actually kind of pains me. So this is nothing personal. We talked about that. It's Shut Up and Dance by Walk the Moon. Now, I love Walk the Moon. They're a Columbus, Ohio band. I've seen them twice. Cincinnati, Ohio. I'm sorry. Awesome show. But the one thing I have against them is that the radio only plays that one song. They're a fantastic band. They have other great songs just play some of them. That's all I have to say. Different colors. Boom. There's one. Go ahead and play that. You're welcome, radio stations of America.
I mean, Quesadilla is another one I think from their first album that's really good. Anna Sun, Tightrope. Come on, they got plenty of other good songs. Mix it up for once in a while. I'm not pointing any fingers at anyone, WBRU, but all I'm saying is play like a little bit something different once in a while, okay? What else you got on there? Throw us a couple more songs out.
So this one is actually going to hit a lot of people in the heart. Sweet Caroline is so overplayed.
It is overplayed, but I will never stop playing it because I love the Red Sox.
Well, I love it when they win, but when I go to a game against Tampa Bay and you throw, I don't know who else out there, you throw Daniel Bard out there and they're getting shellacked 12-2 and you're playing Sweet Caroline, I want to get the hell out of Fenway.
Hell no, I don't want to hear that song when we're losing. I think we should only play that song when we're winning.
Exactly. You should only play that song, or if it's a close game, tie game, 2 or 3 runs.
We're down 12-0 to like the Blue Jays or something, or even worse, like the Yankees, and I hear Sweet Caroline in the 8th inning, I'm gonna boo it and I'm gonna throw like beer at somebody.
I hate it. I hate it. That's the worst thing about Fenway Park. That's the worst thing about this management group. It brings back the whole Pink Hat thing. Have another song. When you're down by 3 runs or so, play a comeback song. Hey, here's a thought. Here's the comeback song, and it's uplifting. I don't know. If I were John Henry, that's what I would do for the day. So that's my last one for now. Zach, you want to rattle off a couple? I know you're gonna.
Okay. So I'm looking at my list right now, and I get a little greedy with it because there are a lot of songs out there that just completely just it's mind-boggling how all these like songs just get recycled over and over and over again. So the first thing I want to touch is I've had a problem with AC/DC for many, many years. I just think they get way too much airtime, especially on the local radio station back home around Providence, Rhode Island on 94 HJY. So like when I hear Highway to Hell, like right away, I get mad. Shook Me All Night Long is another one that needs to go. But I think the one band that I feel that everyone can agree with me on this is Steve Miller Band. How sick are you of Steve Miller Band? Keep Rockin' Me, The Joker, Fly Like an Eagle, Jet Airline. Those songs, those 4 songs, I guarantee you could turn on any classic radio or Cool Hits classic radio station, and you will hear one of those 4 songs every single day. It's amazing how much they play of that band.
I agree with you. The Joker gets real old real fast.
And it's not even better that my dad told me that like they're one of the worst bands like live. They're like a horrible live band. They're a studio band, and they have like 4 or 5 good songs. Like I can't listen to that crap anymore. Drives me berserk. I'm looking at some other songs. Summer classic that everybody loves that I personally can't stand anymore. All Summer Long by Kid Rock. I just want to gouge my eyeballs out every time I hear that. Like. A classic summer setting. You're having a great day. The sun's coming down. It's like we just got back from the beach, and then some idiot who's been drinking at the beach all day goes to the jukebox or the iPod player and puts that freaking song on, and then everybody's singing it. And I'm like, I don't understand how anyone's not gotten sick of this. It's like every single year, it's like someone plays this like 3 or 4 freaking times a day. What do you got to say about that? You sick of it? I'm sick of it.
Yeah, because not only is it not original, but he copies Werewolves in London. First of all, and what's the other? Is Sweet Home Alabama?
Yeah, it's a cover of Sweet Home Alabama, I think.
It's a cover combo. That Werewolves of London. Oh, Werewolves of London. That one. That's in that too. So I don't know. Great when it came out. I think I was in 7th grade, but it's time to move on, America. Find another summer jam.
Okay. I know this one. Oasis, Wonderwall. I think that's one. And the thing I have a problem with Oasis is this, like, I'm not the biggest Oasis fan. I love their first 2 albums. Wonderwall gets extremely repetitive. Champagne Supernova is one of my favorite songs of all time. Even that one gets a lot of airtime on WBRU in Providence. I hope they really see this because I really hope they see my opinion because this is the time for me to get out my frustration with them. But yeah, Oasis Wonderwall is just like that song that everybody knows. Everybody who plays an acoustic guitar at some point will probably learn. Because I know everybody knows it. It's a popular song, but it gets way too much airtime. Imagine Dragons, Radioactive. That's another one. We're hitting some new ones right here. So I'm going to go jump around a little bit right now. So Imagine Dragons, Radioactive is definitely overplayed. I know a local radio station, WBRU, plays the crap out of Big Data's Dangerous. That one gets a lot of play. I'm looking at other ones I wrote down from the indie. Passenger, Let Her Go. That song sucks. I wish they would stop playing it. Yeah, You got anything else to say about some of those songs I just listed?
Can you do your passenger imitation?
I don't understand why people like his voice. I don't get it. Like, the honey, honey, hey, but the hey, ho. The honey, honey, time, but the hey, ho. Like, it's like, dude, like, and it's like, I can't really make out the lyrics that he's saying. I saw a Vine one time. I think it was by that Viner. His name is Nicholas McGallis, and he gets a little weird for me sometimes, but he had some funny stuff. He had like a famous Vine that went viral. The gummy money. Have you ever seen that Vine?
Yeah.
Yo, my name is Nicholas, and this is the whatever. So he does exactly what I did just now and wrote songs that you can hum, but people think you're singing the lyrics. And so that's all I got to say about that. Another recent one, Pharrell Williams, Happy.
That song is so overplayed, and it's honestly a disgrace to Pharrell because he's a fantastic artist.
Yeah, it stinks. I feel bad. Every freaking party that you go to, or dance, or wedding, or whatever you want to call it, Flo Rida, Right Round.
I just think of the scene in Pitch Perfect, the first one with the a cappella group doing that song.
I can't believe I missed over this one. All right, Tell Me Not. This is one of the most overplayed songs of all time. The Black Eyed Peas, I've Got a Feeling.
Yeah.
How many times do you go to a wedding or a dance or like that is one of the most overplayed songs of all time.
I can't believe you just brought that up. Yeah, I don't I think of Oprah when I hear that song. I don't know.
When I hear that da, 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 I just instantly get mad. The night is ruined.
Tonight's the night till all right.
I hate that song so much. So but yeah, so those are some of the new ones. We'll dive a little bit more back into the classics. I know I kind of got off track there a little bit because we were talking about Steve Miller Band for a bit and AC/DC. You got any other classic ones you want to mention?
No, actually, my classics are pretty much. See, I'm not a huge. Obviously, I didn't grow up during that time period, so I'm not.
I listen to a lot of that radio, and even I get mad when I listen to it. And then, like, I know it's bad when my dad hates it, and then I hate it because, like I said, I'm 23 years old, and I hear these songs all the time, and I didn't even grow up in this time period. The entire first album by Boston, that needs to go. More Than a Feeling, Peace of Mind, Foreplay, Long Time. All those songs need to get off the radio. I would like to listen to them on my own personal game because it's like once in a while it's like, oh yeah, this is a pretty good song, but they play the crap out of that. Carry On My Wayward Son by Kansas, got to go. Barracuda by Heart, gotta go. Money and Comfortably Numb by Pink Floyd, absolutely overplayed. Pink Floyd has so many other good albums. They don't play anything from Animals. I get why, because it's like long and it's not made for the radio, but like radio shouldn't even have an agenda anymore. Like you're competing with internet and online, and indie is the cool thing now. Everyone likes independent stuff. No, who cares if you play the 6 or 7 minute version of a song? You don't have an agenda to get to. Commercials, so what? Make them wait. You can play it like anytime. Like I don't know. Like I guess that's kind of like. I can say that now because like I don't work for a radio station and my check's not being written by the advertising companies. But at a time like this, when radio's trying to fight for something like that, why not play something different or whatever? You know, it's like a different agenda. Like I'm sick of hearing these songs.
I will say, "Time of Your Life" by Green Day. I love that song. I really do. They need to stop using it for tributes. Okay, I don't want to see any more wedding montages to "Time of Your Life"
or every graduation.
Or graduation. Yep.
Oh my God, dude! It's like I feel like if everybody in America had a dollar for every time that's played at a graduation, we might be able to fix the economy. I think we'd get out of our deficit.
Another thing I'm gonna go with. I love Taylor Swift. Don't get me wrong, but her old stuff is good. Bring it back. All right, stop playing 1989 and Red. You're playing the crap out of it.
Take it off.
Take it off. I mean, I love Shake It Off. Great song, but yeah, it's being overplayed, and you don't want to venture down that path.
What about Hotel California by the Eagles?
I don't know, man. That's another one where I don't really keep the station on when it's playing.
That one's overplayed, I feel, in my opinion.
Low. It's usually timed inappropriately.
See that? No, the thing is, I was talking to you about this before. Like, you have those songs that are overplayed on the radio and stuff, but I have like a different genre. Like, there's those certain YouTube songs that you hear, like that people used for their videos back in the day, like between like 06 and 09. I guess like when I don't know if those songs were like an option in like because I didn't upload a lot of videos on YouTube. I went on YouTube a lot, but like I never uploaded the videos myself. So like I can't name another time where like I would hear like Finger Eleven's Paralyzer. Dun, 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 like on every YouTube video you click, or even worse, let the bodies hit the flow, let the bodies hit the flow. Like Drowning Pool Bodies, that song should have been murdered like 8 years ago.
I disagree.
So raunchy to hear now. It's like, oh God, I can't. That one sucks.
That was the theme song to my travel hockey team's trip to Canada, and I completely disagree.
What?
Yep,
Are you kidding me?
I love that. Keep Bodies by Drowning Pool alive.
That song is awful, Sully. Come on, dude. No way.
Dude, I don't want to, like, first of all, it never really comes on the radio anyway.
You're right, but I hear it all the time. I heard it so much when I was young on YouTube. It's been like 6 or 7 years since I've like run into that instant, and I hate it still. It's like that stupid song that the Bruins music PA plays at every Bruins game. What's the name of that? Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
They play that one all the time.
By Bush.
I'm getting angry just I am getting angry just hearing that right now. Oh, jeez.
All right, I got one for you. Chelsea Dagger. I forget the name of it, but it's it's the Chicago Blackhawks goal song. And after that Stanley Cup loss,
yeah, it's overplayed because the Blackhawks score so many goals. That's why.
And but even radio stations, I can't listen to it anymore. When I think it's Chelsea lately. I think that's their.
It might be. I know a lot of people like. I don't know. I guess people listen to them. I don't really give them a listen. But
I can't listen to that song anymore. It's over.
No, I just wanted to bring this up briefly because me and you have voiced our absolute discussion or our opinions about this. So for many of you who are listening who probably don't know of this, I know a lot of local people from Massachusetts will know. So Brown University has a radio station called WBRU, and I never really understood, like, I always thought they overplayed a lot of songs on that radio station until I came to Columbus, and then I started listening to CD 1025, and then I found out all this new indie music. Not only was it like, it wasn't like I went out there like, oh, these kids are such hipsters, they play only like local stuff. It is not local stuff. It's stuff that's popular on YouTube. It's popular indie alternative music. But WBRU is not playing this stuff. And I can't tell you how many times a day these idiots play Sublime, Foo Fighters, Stone Temple Pilots, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Nirvana, especially freaking Santeria and Wrong Way. If I hear Wrong Way one more time by Sublime, I'm gonna lose it. Like that song. You know what else is another overplayed song that they do that I forgot to bring up before was Everlast. You ever really wanna know what it's like? You know that song?
Who's it by?
Everlast, the guy from House of Pain who sang that song "Jump Around." Remember, he decided to pick up a guitar and he put out that song "What It's Like." God forbid you ever have to walk a mile in his shoes. Then you might know what it's like to sing the blues. You never heard that song?
I don't think so.
Yes, you have. I'm gonna find it right now. But anyways, can you want to have a comment on that while I look for this to show you?
Well, all right. I'm gonna go with some newer stuff. Stop playing Adele, homies. Stop playing Adele.
Yeah.
All right. Hello. She's fantastic. She's great. I love her. Odell. Hello. Odell. Can you hear me? No. Hello has been played to pieces, and it hasn't even been more than, what, 2 months, 3 months since the album came out? Stop playing it. Do yourself a favor. You're killing it. I heard Rolling in the Deep the other day, and I started freaking out in a good way because I was like, yes, an awesome Adele song that I haven't heard in a while. Fancy by Iggy Azalea. Gotta go. Throw that out. Iggy Azalea is an embarrassment to rap to begin with.
You're going to say that song by itself? I would just say her, go, bye-bye, I'm done.
Yeah, but I can't stand that.
I don't know how she got a record deal, man. I don't get that. Same with Nicki Minaj. I don't understand it. I don't.
Swaggy P.
It's awful.
That's why.
Well, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, you think that, like, especially these alternative stations, they got so much music to work with. I mean, a lot. Like, I mean, I hear like Tame Impala, Mac DeMarco, Deer Hunter, Churches, Jamie XX, Cage the Elephant, Silver Sun Pickups, Pop ETC, like bands like that. Like they get a lot of airplay around what's it called, around Columbus and stuff. And then I don't know, like it doesn't make sense to me. I don't get it. So I'm trying to pull this up right now for you just to listen. Oh, the song. You've heard the song?
Oh yeah, I know the song. I know exactly. They do play the crap out of that.
Yeah, so that song's that's overplayed a lot too. So
you know, I didn't recognize it. It's because I can't understand the words when he's singing it. So you were singing the words. I didn't know what they meant.
I feel like we've run into that problem a little bit. So, all right, I'm gonna look at a couple more ones and then we'll move on. But let's see. You know what else? Looking at some other wedding classics that always seem to be played at weddings. "We Are Family" by Sister Sledge. That song got murdered before I was born. "Dancing Queen" by ABBA.
I think all ABBA's got to go, to be honest.
Yeah. What else? Couple new ones I'm looking at. I had Iggy Azalea on my list as well. "In the Club" by 50 Cent. That one.
I disagree with that. I disagree.
Any like throwback radio station you go on for back, it's now on Back in the Day Cafe stuff, and I hear that all the time now.
I don't know.
I don't mind it.
I'll still bump
to it. I'm just gonna throw it out there and say it is kind of overplayed.
There's nothing better at a party when that comes on. Boom, boom, go, shawty.
You just answered my question for me. Thank you.
What?
That answers my question. There's nothing better when that guy just goes up with the iPod and hits play on that song. You're right, because it happens every freaking weekend. That guy is at the party. I'm gonna do some throwbacks. Like that's exactly what I was trying to tell you. You answered my question for me right there.
All right, I got a couple. I got "Far Away" by Nickelback. You can put all of Nickelback on there.
Nickelback in one category.
But "Far Away" is by far the worst one because it's like Nickelback trying to be angsty and dramatic, and the music video is like a firefighter. It's all terrible. It's all absolutely awful. "X's and O's" by El King. That's gotta go.
So they had that horror one a couple of years ago. "Nobody likes to be the last wonder." Like they are now. I understand why people think why do people make fun of Nickelback so much? That's why they make fun of Nickelback, because of those songs.
Look at this photograph. Every time I do, it makes me laugh.
He's like a very bad wannabe Scott Stapp from Creed. All right, so
while we're on the topic, Creed doesn't get enough airplay. I love Creed.
See, people are online saying they overplay Creed, but Creed's funny though. That's hysterical. The thing is, they can overplay Creed, but you're gonna tell me when you're had a couple beers in you, you're gonna sit at the bar and not sing "Higher" when it comes on in the Scott Stapp voice?
Can you take me higher?
With arms wide open. So yeah, speaking of which, have you seen what the Carolina Panthers have been doing in their locker room?
No.
They've been Creed bombing people in interviews. So during the interview, they'll be interviewing players, and then random members of the Panthers will just go up to the players. "If I had just one wish." The Creed bombing. You can go on. There's a couple of videos of them Creed bombing. They're like, "With arms wide open." I'm like, this is genius. I hope this is a trend and people continue to do this kind of stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna start doing that. Do it in Snapchats.
Yeah.
Dude, Scott Stapp's record sales will skyrocket afterwards. First time in years. I also have, and I'm probably gonna get flack for this, "Royals" by Lorde. I don't like it.
No, it's overplayed. That is a definitely overplayed song. You can thank WBRU for that one too.
Yep. "All About That Bass" by Meghan Trainor. I'm not all about the bass. That would make the song sound terrible. It would just sound like this.
I'm so sick of Red Hot Chili Peppers' "Californication," man.
Yeah, I don't know, man. They're so classic.
It breaks my heart too, because the Red Hot Chili Peppers are one of my favorites. When I read "Scar Tissue" by Anthony Kiedis, and that was such a great read. So I have a lot of respect for the guy and what he's overcome in his life. And I like I said, I owned the CD when I was young, but I just can't stand it anymore. Same with "Around the World," man. As soon as I hear that bass intro, like I said, I think it's just like that freaking radio station that ruined it so much for me. So yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to wrap this up a little bit real quick. I think we pretty much got to everything I wanted to on this list. Like I said, "Don't Stop Believin'" by Journey.
Yeah, I completely agree. Definitely certain scenarios it's okay, but stop playing it on the radio. You're only allowed to play it in a car with 4 other people when you all belt it out. That's what
I think that scenario should be banned too. I'm like, whenever there's alcohol involved, that song is banned. Because you know what it is? It's like when you sing that song and you like tape it and someone catches you doing it, it's like you wake up the next morning like regretting something you did when you were drunk. It's like, oh, what did I do last night? And then you open up your Snapchat story and it says, you just hear, just a small town girl. Like, that's instant regret right there.
Anything you used for lyrics in your AIM away message back in the day should be banned. That's what I think. If those lyrics were in your AIM away message or your MySpace profile when you were in middle school, that song should be banned from radio. That's what I think.
Oh, man. Yeah, there's a lot of them. I mean, we can go back into the middle school MySpace days and ban some more songs from that age. Party like a rock. Party like a rock star.
I'm watching The Wire right now. I'm in the fourth season, and they play that song at one point in the background.
Man, that song's bad. There was a couple other ones that were really bad. It's like those MySpace classics, you know, like, yeah, but I can't. All right, so I can't even mention it because I like those songs. T-Pain.
Yeah,
those are good throwbacks.
You know what song is overplayed? Turned Down for What by Little John.
That's gotta go too.
That's gotta go.
Yeah. So, and you know what's another one that's overplayed too is Get Low.
By
Little John.
By who?
Little John.
Oh.
Through the window. It's overplayed, dude. You know it. I know you have a guilty. It's a guilty pleasure for you, man. I know it is.
Oh, them females crawl. Oh, ski.
All right, so I don't know how long we've talked about this for, but
24 minutes.
What?
24 minutes.
Oh my God! So yeah, we were gonna go really into this today. So, all right, we'll wrap that one up. If you guys have any other opinions, whoever decides to watch this video, and you guys want to comment some more and argue with us, we'd be more than willing to answer your questions. But we'll wrap this up right now. So we're moving on now. So to the NFL, the big news, obviously. It was official yesterday, but I think I heard rumors of this for a few weeks up until it happened. Calvin Johnson, the wide receiver for the Detroit Lions, retired yesterday. He's only 30, still very well into the prime of his career. I'm just going to read some stats off right here. 9 years, he had 721 receptions, 11,619 yards, 83 touchdowns. He's the all-time career leading in receiving yards and TDs for the Lions. He's the fastest receiver in NFL history to 10,000 yards. He finishes 27th on the all-time receiving list. Yeah, so this only answers one question. I know he was banged up. I know he pretty much broke or hurt every little piece of his body. I don't even say little piece, big piece of his body. Megatron, we're talking here. He was banged up, a lot of injuries, I guess. I heard a couple things on the television today regarding his decision. I'll get into that in a little bit, but I only think the main reason why he left is oh shoot, knocked the microphone right over. I think the only reason why he left is because Detroit is just such a there's no future, there's no hope for that team. I mean, they've let guys go over the past like Nick Farley. They let Ndamukong Suh go. They had so much like talent to build around. And no one really like stayed in Detroit, and I think Calvin Johnson just kind of got sick of it. You know, Matthew Stafford hasn't really looked too like promising over the last couple of years. I mean, he had a pretty good year last year, but he's just that classic guy, you know, who throws a lot of picks in like big time situations. And I guess he just didn't have. I think he really just didn't have any heart in playing anymore for a team like Detroit. They're a disgrace. They're an absolute disgrace. They haven't won a division title since 1993. They were 0-2 in the 2 playoff games that he played in. They just didn't give him any drive or motivation to come back. So, Sully, you got any thoughts on this?
I feel for those poor Detroit fans who had that happen to them, not just once with Barry Sanders, but now again with Calvin Johnson. And Calvin Johnson's nowhere near the talent level of Barry Sanders. I understand that, but it's a pretty similar situation, pretty similar scenario.
You don't think so? You don't think he's close?
I don't think so.
Calvin Johnson is one of the most dominating wide receivers to play the last 25 years.
Yeah, I agree with that. But Barry Sanders is one of the best talents all time.
Yeah, but I just mentioned to you, Calvin Johnson was the fastest receiver to 10,000 yards.
Yeah.
He's the same exact thing as Barry Sanders, in my opinion, like right now. He shattered records in his short career, and because he was in such a crappy situation in Detroit, he's going. He's saying, screw it. I don't want to play for this team anymore.
Well, why not leave because of free agency. He can go anywhere else in the league. Anyone will take him.
I think that the injury problem is becoming so prevalent now in the NFL. I mean, look at last year with the 49ers, with Patrick Willis, and you had guys like Justin Smith, I think, was the other guy. I could be wrong, but I think that's what his name was. They had a couple guys retire at like 30 and 31, and I think this whole concussion stuff is starting to scare people, and I think that has something to do with it as well, or not concussions, but just injury in long term.
That was going to be my next question. Does he see people hurt? Does he see people that were involved that had really successful careers like Junior Seau, sees them all banged up, sees them killed?
Why wouldn't that scare you? Seeing something like that? You're in the NFL. Imagine. All right, so I'll take this for example. Like Sam Shields from the Green Bay Packers this year. He gets a concussion in like week 13. He was on concussion protocol for 5 weeks. 5 weeks. That's over a month being on concussion protocol. He didn't get back until the Arizona game, so he was out for like a decent amount of time. But imagine being in his shoes. You can't pass a concussion protocol for 5 weeks, and then a story like Junior Seau breaks like 10, 15 years after like his prime of his career, and he's blowing his brains out. No, he didn't blow his brains out. He shot himself in the chest because he wanted, from what I'm assuming, he wanted people to analyze his brain activity. That's the only logical thing would make sense. Why would somebody do something so horrific to themselves if they were preserving something on their body, like their head, like for instance?
Yep. I think that's 100% what it is. I think he's looking around the league. He's seeing guys like Antoine Randall L coming out saying, hey, playing football wasn't worth it. And he's like, I had my run. I fulfilled my dream. I might never win Super Bowl. And so few people win a Super Bowl that is it really worth killing myself? Quite literally, is it worth killing myself to win a Super Bowl? And
now, I heard today that Calvin Johnson wanted to play in Major League Baseball. I heard that today.
Okay.
So one of the ESPN reporters, I think it was Skip Bayless, was talking about this today. He didn't have an opinion on it, thank God, because I can't take his opinions. But he was just reporting it. He was talking about how at Georgia Tech, Calvin Johnson wanted to play baseball and pursue a Major League Baseball career. And his mom said no, that he had to focus on his academics and one sport only. And he was obviously a 5-star recruit in football, so he had already had a lot of attention going towards his draft stock at Georgia Tech, so he chose the football route. But I just don't think his heart was into it. It's exactly what they said on ESPN today. And I agree with them. I do. There's no motivation there for him to play anymore. And the risk of injury and there's no promising future for Detroit to be on the rise right now. I mean, they haven't made the playoffs back-to-back years in 23 years. Back-to-back years they haven't made the playoffs with this team, which means that they go from a season where they were 11-5 last year. They were one game away from getting a first-round bye because Green Bay beat them on the last year of the season, and then this year they completely just take a huge dump on that and they go 7-9. So what he's thinking to himself is, screw it. There's no need to play anymore. I'm done with this. 9 years of this crap. I'm over with it.
So do you think he goes ahead and tries to play baseball? Because that would be awesome.
I don't know, man. I mean, you've been out of that game for 9 years. You know what I mean? Like, he was coming out of college, and like you're 21, 22 years old, and like you can like make a turnaround maybe a year or two afterwards. Because I know guys have done it. Like Elway was going to go play for the Yankees if he had got drafted by the Indianapolis Colts, and like you can make a decision or turnaround when you're at that age. But I just think when you get to this point in your career, you're like 30, 31 years old. I mean, there's guys like organizations in Major League Baseball who are reluctant to sign. I don't even know. Can't even speak. To sign guys like that to long-term deals because of like their age and risk to injury and stuff. So I feel, I just don't see him playing at all. I just think he's going to pursue something else, and then I mean, he's already made $120 million off the NFL career, so he's really got nothing else to be worried about,
I have no idea. I didn't know about the MLB possibilities until you just mentioned it. But here's what I have to say about the whole matter. Michael Jordan played baseball in high school, but was not very good. I think he hit around 280 his senior year of high school. Was a solid player for high school, but probably didn't have a chance of playing in college, never mind at a professional level. But because he was such a fantastic athlete, when he made the decision to switch, I mean, he came into that spring training and he was awful. He was awful, but he worked his butt off. And him being Michael Jordan, him being one of the best athletes of all time, he was able to become a pretty good player and actually got the chance to play in the majors. But it was because of the MLB lockout, and he didn't want to play under those circumstances. He wanted to play on his own terms. He wanted to earn the spot to play for the major leagues. With that being said, if Calvin Johnson was really good enough to play at Georgia Tech, where our boy Nomar Garcia-Parra went to school, represent.
Yeah, a lot of these guys are athletes. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, the sense with like Carl Crawford, he was a 3-time athlete. He could have gone D1 for basketball, baseball, or football. But I'm looking at it and I'm trying to find like lefty righty stats on him, but you can't obviously because he's a wide receiver. But like I would love to see like he's 6'5". This guy probably could hit for power. He could hit for speed. He'd probably be a well-rounded baseball player.
So
I've never seen him play ball before. I'm just going by the report I heard. But if that's true, he was able to play at Georgia Tech, ACC school for college. You're probably pretty damn good at it.
Yeah, I mean, if to even get a mention, you're gonna be. I mean, that's the best conference in college baseball by far.
Baseball is the best route to go, man. It really is because you're not getting smacked around like football. There's more money involved if you're good. Yeah, it's a long season, but you play during the summer. Like obviously, there's cold temperatures in the beginning, unless you play in like San Diego and you have to make like a May trip to Boston or a May trip to San Francisco. But other than that, like for the most part, it's pretty good weather, and you're not getting smacked around. You're not worried about risk for injury, and I don't blame them. It's tough. But
staying in the NFL, Johnny Manziel is in trouble yet again. Are you surprised?
Nope, I am not. So he's being investigated by police right now following an incident, not even in Ohio now. I guess he's back in Texas, following a disturbance by which he may have assaulted his girlfriend. I'm sick of the stories. I'm sick of it. Yeah, he's a young kid. He makes stupid decisions. I mean, this is like month after month of something stupid going on. I don't know how many times this has happened this year. He is just – it's either – I was going to go with the excuse that he doesn't want to be in Cleveland anymore, like that he doesn't want to play for the Browns. But now I'm hearing stories about him assaulting his girlfriend and like being at the casino and getting drunk and stuff. No, that guy does not want to be. It's not that he doesn't want to be out of Cleveland. He probably doesn't. But that guy's got a lot more serious issues and a big ego that he's got to take care of before he decides that he wants to play in the NFL anymore. I mean, just back in October, he was in Avon, Ohio. He got spotted fighting with his girlfriend while he was driving around and drinking with the girl. So they were on the west side of Cleveland. That happened. So then he spent more than 2 years ago, I think. He spent 70 days in a Pennsylvania rehab facility, specializing in alcohol and drug addiction treatment. This was last winter, actually, not even 2 years ago. And then the Browns are playing on January 3rd, and he's seen at Las Vegas Planet Hollywood Casino the night before a game. You know what I mean? And then he goes on Instagram and puts on this picture of him at the house with his dog, which any idiot would think that he definitely went through his camera roll and put it on Instagram to make people think that he was at his house when he was really in Las Vegas, probably doing a bunch of freaking drinking and gambling and stuff, not focusing on the game. He doesn't care. I just think he doesn't want to be in Cleveland anymore, and he just has some serious problems, and he needs to get his life checked out, and he certainly needs to get out of this relationship with this girl. Because if you're hitting her, you need to step off, dude. You need to get yourself in check. Like, stop being a moron.
Colin Cowherd has said this before. There's there's two types of people when they graduate. There's two types of guys. Girls are a lot different. And I don't know why it is, but a lot of times girls graduate and they start either focusing on a career or they tone down, but they realize when they graduate college, the rest of the world can't be like college where you go out Thursday, Friday, Saturday night, you're hanging out with your friends all the time, and most of the time it's because you have a job. But sometimes guys who just graduate, they don't have that. They're 23, 24, 25 years old. They're living in the post-grad years. It's like the time you can afford to just kind of work a job as a bartender or a waiter and, take a time out. Maybe you exhausted yourself in college. You need to recharge the batteries and have a little bit of fun. So you can go out. You can have a good time every single weekend. You can do stuff that's fun. That's what Johnny Manziel is at right now. But there's certain jobs you can't do that. If you have a high job at a law firm, you can't do that. You can't work at a restaurant and work at a bar and go out and party every single weekend. If you're an accountant, you probably can't afford to do that because you have too many other things to worry about. If you're working trying to become a state trooper, you probably can't afford to do that. These are all jobs with real big responsibilities and real big job titles. NFL quarterback is one of those jobs. You need to be on your game. You need to be working your butt off if you want to be even mediocre at what you do, never mind one of the best. And Johnny Manziel doesn't get that right now. He's trying to be like Gronk, but Gronk's a tight end. Gronk can get away with that. he can do whatever he wants because he doesn't have to know the playbook inside and out like Tom
The difference between him and Gronk, though, is that Gronk does this in the offseason. He doesn't do it during the season.
Yep.
And when he does do it, he hires drivers like bus drivers to drive him and his friends around. And he keeps himself in check. And no matter what, what's the word I'm using for any, like if he makes like a statement of he's going to be there a certain day, he doesn't just like not show up or anything like that. How many times has Johnny Manziel missed a freaking curfew? He missed something a couple weeks ago to the Cleveland Browns. It was like a mandatory team meeting needed to be at. Not LeBron. I was going to get to him in a second because he has something to deal with. But Manziel just didn't show up. But you can tell people are sick of it. This month, Cleveland Cavaliers star LeBron James, he had a business partnership with Manziel, like for endorsements and stuff. He ended it just this month. Said, no, I'm done. I mean, last month. We're in February now. Last month, he's like, no, well, you got a lot of other things you're going to worry about. I'm not going to have an idiot like you ruin my brand. So get yourself together, and maybe you can we can fix this some other time. But as for now, you got to get yourself in line, buddy. You're being a complete idiot.
Yeah, this all kind of goes back to when you see Johnny Manziel sitting courtside at Miami Heat games with Drake. And I'm not saying Drake's a bad guy or anything like that, but he's a rapper, and he's a hip-hop star, and he's a mogul, and he's an icon. And Drake can live that kind of lifestyle because guess what? He gets paid to do it. Johnny Manziel, you have other shit to focus on, okay? So you need to start worrying about that. You need to stop worrying about the celebrity lifestyle because guess what? Tom Brady and Peyton Manning didn't get to becoming the best at what they do by going out and partying all the time. You know what I mean? Michael Jordan.
None of them did. Name one quarterback that was like that was like successful in the NFL with Super Bowl rings and stuff. None of them have brought the publicity and the just the complete dumbassness that Johnny Manziel has brought. And I get it. Cleveland Browns, that's where careers go to die. I get it. But at the same time, it's like, dude, like, I understand. If you don't want to be there, that's okay. But, dude, don't on the side. Don't go assault your girlfriend and drive around drunk and do all this stupid stuff. If you really cared and you don't want to be in Cleveland, speak up. I don't want to be here anymore. I hate it here. It's not working out. And get yourself together and stay away from the party scene. Like you obviously have a problem with it, you know? And I like having fun. I like going out. He's young. He's 23. We're both the same age. I understand where he's coming from. But like you said, and I agree with you, he's a freaking quarterback in the NFL on a struggling team. And when you're a quarterback on a struggling team and you're seen doing all this crap on the side, people are going to get pissed. And especially if it's been a problem since college, a lot of questions are going to be raised about how you can perform in the NFL.
We wrapping it up right before we leave, just a thing I want to touch on. The Iowa Caucus starts today. My alma mater, the University of New Hampshire, got named to host the Democratic debate hosted by MSNBC. That's going to be on Thursday. Really wish I was able to go to that. Going to try and get a press pass. I don't think it's going to work out. I don't think MSNBC is going to be too big of a fan of my credentials. I don't know. The Zach and Sully podcast might not be a big enough name.
I just bring it up and be like, you haven't heard of us? We're online. You should check us out.
I'm just going to email a link to this podcast right here and then me bashing them at the end. But anyway, real cool experience for all my UNH journalism people that are over there. Real cool experience, whether you're a Republican or Democrat. I have no idea who I'm voting for right now. No party. I don't know, but I definitely would love to be a part of that. So I hope everyone who's down there is taking advantage of that. That's pretty cool.
So, yeah, you heard that. Would you want to add one more final thought in there, or is that your final thought?
I guess let's just go with the 3-on-3 All-Star format was awesome, and John Scott. I mean, I know we've got a lot to say on it, but it was pretty
you know what I gotta say, man? It was cool to watch. As much as I bashed John Scott last episode, him scoring 2 goals was hysterical. Though I do feel on that second goal, they were very easy on him, letting him get the breakaway.
Yeah, you're probably right about that.
And I love how he got lifted off the ice at the end. That was funny.
It was very cool seeing him out there. Patrice Bergeron and PK Subban also looked fantastic as a duo. So I would love to see that combo if it's in the black and gold.
So yeah, I don't know what my final thought is. I guess I'm gonna go with I can't really think of anything right now. I feel like I touched everything I really wanted to. My final thought was gonna be like a little more music bashing, I guess, but I guess we'll leave it at that. We've talked enough and rambled today. Like I said, every Monday and Thursday you can catch us. We'll have this up to you in a little bit. So yeah, that is it. I'm Zach.
I'm Josh, aka Sully. Thanks for
All right, and this is Zach. This is the Zach and Sully podcast. We'll see you guys again on Thursday. Thanks for watching.
Peace.